Okay, let's hit the intro. What is going on, everybody? Woo! Let's put the chat thing on so I know what's going on. I'm excited because it's NFL. It's another episode of Sports Talk 101. But I'm sad as well because we don't have Tom Brady in the NFL anymore. And I don't know. I don't know where to begin. But we're going to be doing a tribute to Tom. Basically, just chatting. We're going to talk about Championship Sunday preview. You know what we talked about, what we saw. We're going to talk about some other little news articles that popped up within the NFL, and then focus on our discussing our thoughts on Tom Brady's retirement and when we'll see him back in the NFL. Because we know it's going to happen.
He ain't coming back, man.
I know. It's. Oh man. So real quick, what were your thoughts on the games over the weekend? I told everybody I've been saying for weeks the Bengals were going to the Super Bowl.
I got to give you props because I was all in you when I was winning, and then you picked the winners for the divisional round. So I got to give it up to you. The Bengals, holy crap, 31 years. So I'm very happy for the new Joe Burrow. Very happy.
I actually read something that the mayor or the Department of Education or the Education Board or for Cincinnati, the Cincinnati Education Board gave the entire city school, all of the public schools, they closed school that Monday because of the victory, to try to give them a day to recoup. And I said that was probably going to happen. I figured.
Hey, you got to give it up, man. I think there was one time they were only had 3 points.
They at the beginning of the season they had 125 to 1 shot to make it to the Super Bowl. Somebody said if you had bet $100 on them, I think it was actually Victor that said this. If you had bet $100 on them at the beginning of the season to win, you would have won like $150,000 or something like that. Some ridiculous amount. And I was nervous. I wasn't sure if they were going to win because of the performance last week, but they stepped it up with the protection and making sure that poor kid did not get destroyed.
Look,
that was what made me nervous.
Travis Kelce, 95 yards, touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 78 yards, a touchdown. Even Hardman, 52 yards, a touchdown. I mean, the receivers were cooking. He was passing the ball. He got 3 touchdowns. It was the last end of the game, dude.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to mute myself for a minute.
Slusher, go for it. What's going on, Slusher? Yo. Hey, man, put who you got. Who you got? Bengals, or do you have the Rams? L.A. or Cincinnati? Who you going for? And thanks for jumping in the chat. Man, Trey Lance era has begun. Look, first of all, I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. The reason why we lost that game, Jimmy threw a pick, and he's not clutch. He wins, and he wins games because of the defense. Because the defense and the special teams, that's what got us where we're at. But the money, I think what they're gonna do is D Ford, they're gonna cut him, and then they're gonna get rid of Jimmy G. That's gonna give us about $28 million. That'll be cool, man. And we'll go out and go get some players. We've already put our we gave up our picks, and Trey Lance is our guy. We got to stick with the kid to see what he can do. I would have did some plays or something to get Trey Lance in the playoffs, man. And they didn't do it. They didn't do it, man. I mean, we got. Hey, got to.
Okay, there we go.
Hey, what's going on? Ron was saying. Ron Slusher. He
Hold on.
said,
We got one more guest coming in.
Oh, get him. Did we get him in?
We got him in.
Hey, the Jersey boys.
Oh, you got no audio.
What's going on, Cloud Gamer Dad? Lee, what's going on?
Lee, good Lord. Get to bed, old man.
So it's the microphone. You got to go in that microphone and select the microphone that you're using.
Oh, we had something there for a minute.
Can you hear me?
Yep,
we can hear you now. There we go.
Now.
Jersey
boys.
Oh, that's what it is.
Oh man, Trey Lance era. I don't see the Niners sold on Trey Lance. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion.
They gave up a lot for him, so they better. They're not going to pay. Hey, they're getting rid of Ford and they're getting rid of Jimmy G. That's going to give them about $28 million.
So they only need what, like 6 or 7 million more to pull in Aaron Rodgers, right?
we don't want that. Bro. He can go play for. He's going to Denver, man. His boy's over in Denver. He's gonna go play in Denver. Or he can go play for Miami and get paid $100,000 to tank. I mean,
don't you love technical issues?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, yep, we can hear you now. There we go.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, but I was there. I was just trying to get on my headset, so I'm like,
oh, gotcha.
You guys go.
All good.
Working unless you got it wrong. All right, this headset's a pain in the ass. All right, well, I'm here. I can hear you. So you got. I'm ready.
Okay.
All right.
Your show.
Well, so the leaks came out yesterday. I saw there was an article yesterday from Joe Theismann talking on he was on I think one of the sports shows talking about the NFL in Washington, and happened to accidentally leak out the name. He came up with the name Commanders. The Washington Commanders are a great team, and I'm like, and they were like, "Is that the new team name?" And he's like, "Oh no, I don't know if that is or not. I'm not sure." So then he goes from that, and then USA 9, which is the I think it's NBC or CBS, one of those affiliates, was flying and zoomed in on their phone and came up and showed the name in the building that it's the Commanders. I'm just like, that's the dumbest name
The Washington Commanders.
I'm sorry. That's the stupidest name I've ever heard. Like, they spent how long trying to come up with a name for it, and that was one of
the New Orleans Pelicans is the dumbest name in sports. I'm sorry, New Orleans, but Pelicans, I'm sorry. I know that's your bird. I know you got Pelicans all on the buildings in New Orleans, but New Orleans
I was just like, all of that time, and that's the name you can. Yep, we can hear you. Oh God,
and
Jeff,
and the headset's working. Hallelujah!
Yeah,
hey, there we go. We're just ragging on the Washington Commanders because I think that's one of the stupidest names they could have come up with.
I want to see what the logo is going to be.
I still like the Washington football team. I don't get it. It's not that hard. Just call them. Like, who's going to call them? Just call them Washington. Like,
well, that's what they're. I don't. And Jeff's. I was waiting for Jeff to show up. Hashtag HTTC.
I really call them Redskins, or I always used to just call it Washington.
Hey, I lived in Maryland. I remember
that's how I called them.
Heisman, Joe Riggin. I mean,
are you a Washington fan too, right?
Hell no, I'm not. Hell no.
His team's.
My dad was in the military, and we were stationed in Maryland when I was young. So when I was in the third and fourth grade, I was a Washington fan. But then I came to the Bay Area, and I seen what he was the GOAT, and then Tom Brady took that role. But that was my boy Joe, Cool Joe, and Joe Montana.
Oh, okay, that Bay Area, because there's a lot of Bay Areas. I don't know which Bay Area.
All right, I'm from California. No, not Green Bay.
You got Tampa Bay,
Oakland, San Francisco.
Man, come on, like, okay, which Bay Area I'm talking about? Nah, Joe Montana is one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, what's your thoughts on the news coming out of Miami?
Which one? The
Well, there's a pending lawsuit apparently against the NFL, the Dolphins, and the Giants by Flores, and then there's the one that where he's saying that they were paying him to tank the
Lost.
seat and lose each game.
yeah,
Just lose.
I
paid
just
$100.
the only thing that concerns me with that is like NFL's fraternal, right? And Flores is too good of a coach, right? So he's just got to be careful who's directed him. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
you gotta stand up for what you stand up for, but you also don't want to be the sacrificial lamb either. You know what I mean? Especially he's a good coach. I mean, like how I feel about
He's a
Belichick.
screw-
Well, yeah, that's why I was
You know how
telling
I
Ray
feel
that
about Belichick
you wanted.
coaches, but you don't want to be now tainted. And I heard he left Miami not on good terms. And then I wanted him on the Giants. So, fans and stuff, he was one of my picks.
Yep.
But, I haven't gotten into it because I've been busy since that's broke.
There's a lot.
I just
more
think that if you
goes
sue the
into it.
NFL, you're pretty much asking yourself to say, okay, let me get paid, but now I'm going to be out of the league.
Yeah, that effectively kills any chance that
Go
you're.
up against the Shield, and those guys are very protective, man. They're like
Who's
the
that?
mafia. The Shield, the NFL Shield.
Oh
NFL.
yeah, there's no doubt, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they there's no doubt about it. I'm not saying. I don't know. Just sometimes I think that he's too good. I don't think there's a person that didn't feel he was going to land somewhere as a coach and do a great job, right? So
Yeah.
there's still open vacancies, right? And it's kind of it's like a double-edged sword. You don't want to vote. You don't want this to be true. It can be. Do we bring it to the light? It's like at what point? I just don't think it. I don't know how he's gonna end. Look at Kaepernick, right? I mean,
Yeah.
for all of that, and then it finally, he's definitely a person of history, but he's also a person of history of not playing in the NFL, right?
Yeah, he effectively killed. Unfortunately, he effectively killed his career with all of that.
He's coming after an owner and the NFL, so that's pretty.
And he's I think there's more to it, or it just has all of the news hasn't broken. I don't know, because we did have a question. Ron Slusher said, "Where will Jim Harbaugh coach?" I think that the strong possibility he goes to Minnesota. The Vikings have narrowed it down. They're flying him in as well, from what I heard. So I think there's
one quick question on the floor.
Okay.
Who's he suing? He's suing the Giants, or who's he suing?
The Giants, the Dolphins, and the NFL.
Yes.
Yep. He's suing the Giants. He's suing the Giants too.
Yeah. So there's more to the story. He got a text from Belichick saying congratulations on the Giants job, and he's like, I didn't get it. Was just really just everything was screwed up. And he ended up not getting the job. And then so he just went and said, you know what? Guess what? Ross paid me $100,000 to lose. He paid me just to lose, which is tampering. It's illegal.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look good. Does not look good. So now the NFL has to look at Ross and like, dude, is this true?
Yeah, but I also got to look at Flores, though. I mean, you did it? Like, I mean, you're still the guy playing is just as bad as the guy taking the guy. Like, okay, I hire you for a hit. And you do the hit.
You're right.
Yeah. Both bad. So I don't want to prolong. I don't want to prolong this. I wanted to just oh shoot, man. Now I just pulled this out. I just wanted to ask. I didn't hear that. Hold on. Yeah. I didn't hear that last piece. You there? Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yep, we can hear you.
I just didn't understand like why he would sue the Dolphins when he's the guy who pretty much told him to go screw off, which I thought he should have.
Yeah.
All right. Well, go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I
He
just wanted
said
to
he
ask.
was
Oh, no.
offered but did not accept. But guess what? You did not say nothing. Okay, you didn't say anything. Now you didn't get a team. Now you're talking. Why didn't you say something when you was offered?
Well, and that's what the NFL's going to ask.
Yeah.
They're going to say, "Why did you wait so long?"
Yeah.
Or why didn't you say it when you left? Don't
Yeah.
wait till you didn't get a job. I mean, this could have been a couple pieces. The minute it happened, or the second you told him to go screw off and here's the deal. But don't go not get a job and then do it. Now it looks like sour grapes, even if though everything could be true, right? I mean, timing is everything. And I don't know. I just
he screwed himself. I'm sorry.
but it's his people around him, so it's like, he's got advisors, right? I mean, he's got to have a PR agent. I mean, it's just,
this is going to be another mess. That the NFL, and depending on the outcome of this is either going to be a positive or another blemish on Roger Goodell's spot as the as the head of the NFL. You're the guy that runs everything. This is going to either look good for you if you can figure it out, or it's going to look bad. So I don't know. I mean, he's already had enough issues. I'm not a fan of Goodell, anyways.
I think Goodell's got the shield. He's Teflon Don, man. I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh, I know.
He can't control the owners. The owners could fire him.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So he can't control the owners. So he have a players representative union, right? And how am I going to control 52 teams and what the owner is going to talk about to every head coach that's there? Right?
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is trying to make sure you're doing the Rooney rule. You're doing so. I think he's way arm's distance from this. Even with those 600,000 emails, that's the stuff that's really going to hit the fan.
Yeah.
Is Gruden's suit.
Yeah. Nope. You're right, man.
Because remember, Gruden was a coach. He still got his money and he's suing. So he's got money. You know what I mean? He's in good shape.
Well, Ron said we'll skip some of Jeff's trolling comments. But Ron had asked where will Jim Harbaugh coach, but then his next one was how long does Josh McDaniels last as the Raiders coach? And Jeff's reply was 2 years max.
That's another disaster,
dude. That's a bad fit. He's not even an Oakland. I'm from Oakland. I'm out here in Oakland, but I don't follow the Oakland Raiders still think that the team belongs to them in Oakland. They're not. They're in Vegas. I tell my friend they're in Las Vegas now. But
those are true fans though.
I know, man. They try. I got
that's a bottom line. They're black. That's black and silver, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
yeah, you're right.
Do you think 2 years is
a team there? Right?
Do you think 2 years is? Do you think 2 years is too much, too long for him? You think he'll be a one and done?
I'll give him 3.
He's not gonna be one and done. Nobody's gonna give you that for one and done.
Give him 3.
It's not like other places, right?
Not like another coach that was in, not like the last Patriots coach that went to Detroit and then didn't last very long, but he had other issues he was dealing with.
The only one and done coach I know is the Houston Texans coach.
Ooh.
Yeah,
and Byron called that in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Right. He said that he's just a sitting duck. Right before the season started, my co-host said, "Sitting duck. That guy's duck. This is just done."
I just said if the quarterback fails, he's gonna fail. But damn, I know the quarterback was really going. He really did. He's bad.
What were your thoughts on the weekend, the games, the Bengals and the Niners game?
The Bengals and the Niners game. The Bengals.
Well, the Bengals Chiefs. Bengals Chiefs. Bengals Chiefs. Niners Rams.
That does that.
I'm proud to say again, Aaron, because you witnessed my fine Jersey boy sports talk wisdom. How I called that play on Tampa, and then Dungy repeated my words. I am proud to say that this morning, and I want to say it again tomorrow.
Say it loud, say it proud.
that they said exactly what I said. Patrick Mahomes owns some of the responsibility. And people, I think it may have been Byron. I'm not sure. Some of them will argue, well, the coach has to. Everyone wants to say the coach.
No, that wasn't
You got a superstar
that wasn't the
quarterback.
coach.
It is the coach. It's just that you gotta wait. You gotta share in the responsibility, right? But Mahomes couldn't have escaped it. Was my argument, right? First of all, number one. Number two, I could see how when you have a guy like a Mahomes, a superstar quarterback, who convinces you to let me take care of this, and then calls the stupidest play I could ever imagine. Now, I'm not saying he's stupid, so we're clear, but that was
Dallas
the
did the
stupidest play I could. I don't. That may have been worse. I don't know what's worse, him or Dak. Sorry, Jeff.
Dak running past 10 yards with so many seconds.
Yeah, but dude, you're talking about scoring right with 5 seconds on the 3-yard line, bro, in the playoffs. That's got to be worse. And you're already there. You're your home team. You needed at least 3 points, and then you throw the ball not in the end zone.
Yeah, it was
worst case scenario.
Yeah, but he won a
happened.
Super Bowl. Dallas
in other words, you go in the Super Bowl, dude. Kick the damn field goal or throw it in the end zone where he either misses it but you can't catch it and try to run the ball
in. I think I said it in the chat when you were, I said something about that when I said that one play altered the whole game. It was downhill after that.
Well, remember,
slowly
out. This is going to hurt him.
And
they got the ball in the second half. So they could have had it twice. They had the ball twice. Sorry.
We got
that game is that one, and then what was the other one? You wanted to say the
my poor Niners, Jimmy.
So the Chiefs, Spagnuolo should be fired. Let's finish that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spagnuolo should be fired.
Period.
Because this was deja vu. Same score, same halftime.
Yeah.
Against a guy who got sacked 9 times. Why were you just blitzing the crap out of him?
Yeah, that was my thing. Like, I don't. What, didn't he only got dropped once? Did Burrow only go down one time?
Can we give Joe some credit though? Can we give Joe Burrow credit?
No.
Gotta give that.
No credit. Zero credit. No.
Did you see him run the ball down the field?
Did
you see him run the ball?
I did, but he did that because he wasn't getting spanked again. Can you imagine coming off a 9? I was worried about him coming off a 9-sack game, and then your offense scores 3 times in a row. Why wouldn't you blitz him? You had nothing to lose, right?
He did a hell of a drive, man. He came back. I'm gonna give that kid, and I mean, first time.
No, I'm giving him credit. We're misunderstanding. Then I apologize. Okay. Right? I'm confused. What you said we'll give him credit for, right?
I'm Joe Burrow drove the ball. He ran the ball down the field. He passed the ball down the field. He scored. He got the kicker. He did his job.
No.
He did his job.
I'm very I try to section my response to a particular piece, right?
Okay.
So if Jeff's on the phone, he'll know because I'll eat him up too. So here's the deal, right? The conversation I thought was, why didn't they rush him, right? And Aaron was like, I don't understand why. And then you say you got to give Joe credit. So I thought you were saying you got to give him credit, which is why they weren't rushing him, or the couple times, because there's a couple times he made some good plays that he got out of a sack that he could have got in, right? So I thought you were addressing that, not give Joe credit for the performance he put on, right? That there's no doubt in my mind, right? See what I'm saying? So like it was an extended conversation. My piece was, you scored the 3 times you touched the ball. He got sacked 9 times. You're Spagnuolo. You're known for rushing. What are you doing? Both teams didn't rush that much. They played back.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like they were putting pressure. So they were just playing it easy to see what happens. Well, see, he should be fired. He should be fired.
Okay, I agree.
That's it. That's where I was coming from, right? And I think Joe, I loved him running. And then look, there was a couple times he was in the grasp and he made some moves.
Yeah, his offensive line sucks. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
The offensive line sucks.
They're bad 9
times.
They're
horrible. They are terrible. And that's the thing is that's why I didn't understand watching that game why there wasn't a lot of blitzing done by the Chiefs, because they watched that game prior and watched Burrow get dropped 9 times and then just nothing. All season, nothing in the game. I think Mahomes actually got dropped more times than Burrow did.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And look, but it's not even the game before, dude. He got sacked 50 something times during the season.
Yeah.
So he was sackable. Like 50 something times.
Which the Rams will definitely take advantage of in the Super Bowl. They're going to take advantage of that.
Well, hopefully, because we didn't know where Donald. Remember, Aaron?
I said that in the chat when you were streaming. I said, does anybody know where our Aaron Donald and Von Miller are?
Because it wasn't for Aaron,
existent.
I forgot about them.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about them.
They were no show.
I swear
they were no show. Wait a minute, hold on.
They weren't even in my mind.
He did rally the guys on the field, and he said, "I want a ring,"
because he must have heard Aaron. Because he heard me through Aaron, because I went off. Because I swear to you that if Aaron didn't mention that, I forgot about them. You know what it is to forget about Darnold, and Byron mentions it every week.
Yeah,
right. I didn't even know they were on the roster.
That's how well, and I remember there's been a commercial with Aaron Donald in it where he's invisible. He's got like an invisible cloak, and then the coach is like, "Anybody seen Donald?" And then his head just pops up right here, coach. And then he looks. Did you see that? I'm freaking out here. That's literally what it was. Like they didn't do anything, and that concerned me.
Tackles in the first half. 0 tackles.
That's I don't know if that's a bad thing for him or bravo to the Niners line.
Why was he yelling at the players on the sideline? And it's like, dude, you should be in the mirror yelling at yourself. What are you doing?
Well, because you know, defense is a unit. You don't know, like sometimes the defensive calls, like if the guy ain't shifting the way he's supposed to be shifting, if he's not taking the guy off of him, or Donald has earned the right to yell at the team regardless, right? And then look what happened when he did yell at him. He stepped up though, so it's like, sometimes you don't know what he was yelling at. He's taking some responsibility himself, and he's going to say, look, I'm going to show you, but you better step up. Like, you don't know what everything he was saying, but I can tell you that right after that he stepped up, right? I mean, all of a sudden he got a sack, he's got this. I mean,
the reporter said he wanted a ring. I never got a ring. I want a ring.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's what he said. But he was saying in a sense that we ain't playing like we're going to get a ring.
Yep, you're right.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but I will give kudos and credit to Aaron, because man, I totally, I forgot they were on the team.
Von Miller had 1 tackle, 1 assist, and that was it. Donald, he had 3 assists. He had no tackles the entire game.
Right.
That is, I don't know the last time I remember that. But the other one that I really stood out to me in that game was Cooper Kupp and Odell, because they had a fantastic game.
They balled out.
100 plus yards for each of them, and Odell was just 1 catch away from double digits for how many receptions he had made.
Would you give Kupp the offense player of the year?
Ooh,
he's got
that's a good one.
He's caught more balls than anybody.
Offensive player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how does that rank? Like how do you give, like, what about the MVP? There's the MVP. If the MVP won't get offensive player, there's offensive player of the year, there's defensive player of the year, and there's MVP, right? Is that how it goes?
Yep.
That's tough because Jamar Chase is balling out too, man.
Yeah, he 266 yards one time on a game. So yeah, he's
So
balling.
Jamar Chase balling out,
Yeah.
and he's balling out, and they're both balling out when it counts too. So it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Look at the touchdowns. He's got the yards. He's got the touchdowns. It's Cup.
Ooh.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll say out of that 49ers Rams game, Stafford he didn't make me nervous like I know he can. He played really well. I mean, he was 31-45, 337 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And Ron said in the chat, Tart makes that interception, the 49ers win.
Tart, oh my God. Don't. Why did you bring that up? Oh my God.
Wait a second. But there were several drop passes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
You're taught. The way you're taught to catch a ball in a football is that it's at its farthest point. So if the ball's coming at your chest, your arms extended is where you want to get the ball. The ball's above your head, your arms extended above the ball. Every drop pass was off the shoulder pad. So that means they let it get past their long arms and hit off their shoulder pad. It's hard to catch a ball that bounces off your shoulder pads.
Aaron, if Tart would have got that interception, I think that would have been it. And I think when he I said, and
yeah.
But but my boy Odell Beckham, Byron says, guy, I got no man crush. I said it. I don't want to say it again. Okay, you cannot tell me that all of a sudden he just comes to the team and they just, okay, we're gonna throw you the ball. I mean, come on now. Don't tell me he couldn't have done that at Cleveland. Right, Baker's I think almost Baker's hyped up way too much, and
dude, Baker is like, I'm the star. I'm the star.
I'm just telling you, I think the coach there is bad. You had 2 good running backs. You know what I want to say against Cup though? Like if I had to go like Chase and Cup, you may be right. The only thing is that I kind of, if I had to pick one or the two, I think Chase didn't have as much talent surrounding him, right? That the Rams have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that, between from a defensive side of the ball and, think about it, right? You're going to get the ball more and so forth. But Cup is balling, man. The one thing I liked about Cup is he's one of the few receivers I've seen in a long time that doesn't just go down or go out. He tries to fight. He's like the tight end that tries to fight for that extra yard. Man, you could tell that's a hungry Easter, like a Midwest, mid-level school, right?
I spent many years back in the day watching Jerry Rice. I used to go watch games with Jerry Rice. So when I see Jerry Rice and I watch Chase, I'm like, Chase, he's elite. He's elite. He's gonna be something else. He's elite.
I'm gonna give
Rice. He's delayed on Rice.
I'm going to give a quick update though on that Brian Flores lawsuit. Apparently, I pulled it up on the NFL because the NFL just made a statement about it. But he's suing the NFL, the Dolphins, the Giants, and the Broncos. So he's suing 3 teams along with the NFL. I didn't realize there were 3 teams that he was suing. The NFL just basically said the NFL and our clubs are deeply committed to ensuring equitable employment practices and continue to make progress in providing equitable opportunities through our organization. Diversity is core to everything we do, and there are a few issues on which our clubs and our internal leadership team spend more time. We will defend against these claims, which are without merit. So I hope Flores has information that because this is going to be, I think this is going to be ugly.
It's a zero-sum game for him. Unless he, because let's say he wins. Well, let's go through the scenarios. He wins, he'll get money, but who's going to want to hire him? Right? I mean, I wouldn't. Right? I can't risk. I can't risk that. You did it. It's like
code.
It's like code. It's not only that. It's like a workers' comp claim, man. You got someone good.
Unfortunately, if he wins, it's like the MLB. It puts an asterisk next to his name.
If he wins, all he's gonna get is money, and then it's still going to be by performance. And then the second he doesn't win, in other words, it's like you ever see Remember the Titans,
Mhm.
and the
Mhm.
guy before the first game, he's told Denzel Washington, if you lose one game, they'll kick you out. I mean, that's I just I mean, I don't know. I don't like any of that type of uh situation happening. I just don't know if that's the best course of action, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, the whole sports world was, in other words, the whole sports world was shocked when he got fired, first of all. And then you find out that he couldn't stand the GM anyways. And then we all believe the GM sucks. I never believed in Tua. Sorry, Justin.
I never believed in him either.
Flores didn't
I
want him. Flores is a great defensive coach. He did good with crappy talent. I mean, their defense was pretty good, and I don't think I can name one person on that defense. So it just like I don't know. Sometimes you want to let your talent speak for itself, right? So I don't know. I mean, what do you think, man? You're African American. What do you think the positioning is? Oh, by
You
the
know,
way, and happy today's Black History Month, the first beginning of Black History Month.
Yep.
It's funny. The funny we're
thank you.
talking about that.
Yeah. What it looks like is, I mean, he's claiming that somebody was screwing around with the Rooney Law, and so that's what it really is. It's about affirmative action. It's about he was told. I guess he thought he had it and didn't get it. He sounds disgruntled. But I see there's a lot, when you talk about the NFL, there's a lot of black coaches. There's a lot of black coaches underneath that are receiving coaches. I mean, there's a lot of,
Washington's
I
got the
mean,
only
so
black team president in NFL
so,
history.
so
Washington
when you,
signed the first.
so when you're talking about the NFL not giving out jobs to African Americans, kill that noise, because you see them, they're on the field. Now, does stuff happen behind the scenes? Oh, hell yeah. I'm pretty sure something happened behind the scenes, but the main thing is you're talking about an owner that paid you like money. You said,
Millions, not money.
like, yeah. paid you, you sound disgruntled though when you're saying, well, this what happened. Okay, this what happened. It's like, well, why didn't you, when it happened, why didn't you say something then? So that's the only thing that it looks really bad, and I agree with you there. It just you had a you're talking now when you should have said something then,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah,
what
I hate.
let's get past that part. What about the hiring part? Like, right? What are your stance on that? Like,
I
you
think you
understand?
got.
Because he couldn't have
You
said
didn't
it.
get the you didn't get the job. You sound pissed. And you want to tell on everybody. That's what happens. That's what happens.
Do you think? Do you think it has something that he waited till all of this came out? It just happened to come out in February. Also, like the start of Black History Month. I don't know if that had anything to do with the timing, but it's just odd that you're picking the You're obviously the team that fired you. Of course you're going to sue them. They fired you. The Giants, apparently he was in the running for the Broncos, and you got to go with the main company. The NFL overall. I don't see him winning this. I think this is just going to be ugly.
It's hard to prove. I don't think it has anything to do with Black History Month, though. I guess to answer your question, it has to do
I agree.
because it happened to be the same time when they already announced those coaches were hired, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could see if they still didn't make a decision yet, and then he decided, right? But they already made the decision, so that came out already. It just happened to fall. I mean, season ends in February. That's when all the coaches are getting jobs. And Black History Month starts on February 1st. What are you gonna do? Well, let me wait. Let me wait. Maybe. Do you think he waited for Valentine's Day? To get some love? And
I totally agree with you there. It sounds like you're disgruntled, you're pissed off, you didn't get a position, somebody else got the position, and usually some people, if you don't get something, look what Antonio Brown, he kind of screwed over a bunch of people, and he brings other people into the mix. So I don't know.
What makes it worse for me, Ray, I don't know about you, is the fact that, okay, let's say it was just the Dolphins and then the Giants. And now, Aaron tells us it's the Broncos. It's every place he didn't get a job.
There you
Right.
go.
So it wasn't like, he interviewed for 5 teams and he's only suing 2 of the 5 teams because he felt that's what happened there. He's suing everyone he didn't get a job with. Right. I mean,
Yeah.
the guys who really should have an argument would be like Bieniemy, right? Which would be Todd Bowles. I mean, I could give you guys that, with all due respect to Flores, you only have one head coaching job and you did okay. Okay. But Todd Bowles is awesome. Leslie Frazier is awesome. Bieniemy is awesome. Shoot, I keep going down the list. You know what I mean? I mean, you got some.
I'm just calling it like, look, man, I'm calling
I'm
like
just
it
saying
is.
to you, like,
Look,
you're not that badass of a coach.
I'm just saying, I'm gonna put it out there. It sounds like a disgruntled employee, okay? And I'm been a district manager. I fired people, and usually some people, and I'm just gonna keep it up real. Some people use the race card, and then does stuff happen? Yes, it does. But I think at this situation, he sounds like he got fired. He didn't get a position, and he's pissed.
He made another statement. Flores did. He added in a release put out by the law firm representing him. God has gifted me with a special talent to coach the game of football, but the need for change is bigger than my personal goals. In making the decision to file the class action complaint today, I understand that I may be risking coaching the game that I love and that has done so much for my family and me. My sincere hope is that by standing up against systemic racism in the NFL, others will join to ensure that positive change is made for generations to come.
He wants to have a moral victory. So he's looking for.
I don't want to compare.
That didn't work too good for Kaepernick.
That's what it sounds like, that he's following the same, because nobody talks about him anymore. But to me, this sounds like he wants Nike or somebody big to reach out, because if he doesn't win, he wants to be the face of change.
He's not the only coach that has been hired for 1 year and fired. Okay, there's been lots of coaches that got just sucked. Okay, and they got fired, or they sit down with the owner. This is what the owner wants. I want to be in the playoffs. Did they make the playoffs? No. There's certain things, objectives that they go over at the beginning of when you get hired. This is what I want. And then if you don't get along with, here's another thing. If you don't get along with management, your ass sure hell ain't going to be there. If you can't get along with the GM, and usually the boss like, am I going to pick the coach or I'm going to pick the GM? You know what? I'm going to stick with the GM. You're out of here.
So think
about the Giants, though, real quick, Aaron. Think about the Giants, right? Yep. The GM of the Giants, the new GM for Buffalo, he had his choice of that the 2 coaches he could have picked are both from the same team, from his own team, right? Well, Frazier and Shane. I wanted Frazier, right? Because I wanted a defensive coach, right? I did not want an offensive coach, right? We've never won a Super Bowl with an offensive coach. Maybe it changes. I didn't want him, right? But my point being is, he had the choice. Think about it, man. What would you do if you're running companies? You're bring your boys with you that you feel comfortable with, right? And imagine if you get word that, look, what was going on with the GM and how was he with you, and do you have to worry about that? Nobody wants to take a brand new job and worry about a coach who's going to be. I hope, again, I don't want to sound on the bad side, because things went wrong. They went wrong. If he wants to do his moral victory and it makes change, it makes change. What kind of change it makes, I don't know. I think change has been happening. It's going to be slow. I mean, think about the number of minority assistants and minority coaches that are in second position, right, in the NFL, right? I mean, that has migrated up, right? So it's take time. There's women now. I mean, little by little. Unfortunately, wish it was faster, but I just, I guess.
Well,
your comment was right. Your comment's what we said before, right? It's got to be a moral victory then, because he's going to be out of coaching. I mean,
I don't want to read. I don't want to read the entire article, because there's a lot of names that are popping up, including tying in with the $100,000 for every loss, because they wanted a top pick in the 2020 draft to go after Burrow. Then apparently he was pressured. The Ross pressured him, Flores, to recruit a prominent quarterback, and then the NFL Network, Ian Rappaport, identified was Tom Brady. So that apparently, which is violation of the league's tampering rules. I mean, there's a lot in here that this is going to be
Right, but
ugly.
that has nothing to do with not
Exactly.
being hired because of
Right.
your race. It has to do with tampering. It has to do with a lot of other pieces, which is that's going to get way more attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you're wrapping it up. When you start wrapping too much stuff in a piece, you're going to get your main message you want is going to get lost.
Yep.
Right, and then it goes back to Santiago loves the clip that he put out of me. But nobody wants to tank. It's impossible. Oh, you put your B players in the tank, dude. Your B players want a contract. They're not going to go out there and they may be superstars. You don't know who could come in and they're NFL players, right? And then
Well, that's like look at
you still got to coach them.
Well, that's like look at the Lions. You're telling me when they went when they losing seasons when they had Megatron, he purposely helped them lose? Come on now. He wanted to lose? I've never bought.
Look at them tackles, man. Them tackles wasn't on there tight enough, man. Look kind of like they
don't tackle anymore.
So let's shift from that topic and we'll finish up the show with Tom Brady.
Well, we didn't finish the video. Talked about the 49 game either.
I know. Rest in peace, Garoppolo. I'm sure teams will sign him at some point.
Jimmy, thank you. So long. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Jimmy.
But what possesses a guy to throw the ball like that, though? But I don't understand. Man, he's not the only one. But he's not the only one. This year, several of those Patrick Mahomes did the same thing.
Yeah,
several of those quarterbacks did that stuff. Yeah. What are you doing, man? Eat the ball. I don't understand why you're getting thrown around and you're trying to flip it to make something play. You're not known for that kind of quarterback.
Nope, and that's why Jimmy. Bye, Jimmy. That's what he drives us crazy out here. He drives
his job was on the line even if he went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said if he wins, if the Niners had gone to the Super Bowl, if they had won it, he still would have been gone. It would not matter. It wouldn't matter. I think they were done.
Money. It just doesn't make sense to pay him that money. Just like it doesn't make sense for Minnesota to pay Cousins. They're not going to pay him that money. He's gone.
That's a disaster.
Cousins, they who's going to take him? The problem with Cousins is somebody for a team to take. But the thing is, I get that. But the problem with Cousins is for a team to take him, they got to be willing to take on $35 million.
Hell no.
That's you want to talk about guys that shouldn't get paid. Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz to me is just a loser. I mean, I'm sorry. He's not a winner.
I've never liked Wentz. I thought he was overrated from day one.
This season has made me a believer. I've always said, you know what? He gets hurt, give him a chance. He got hurt, give him a chance. Damn it. Nick Folk won a Super Bowl for him while he was on the sideline. Yeah, he's just,
And you lose a game that against the worst team in the league.
The Jags.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay. And played bad. It's not like, like all my boys who give me Brady crap or trying to tell me that Brady paid like a 45-year-old quarterback. The dude brought you back in the fourth down. Me and Aaron were freaking out. He brought you back. The last time he touched the ball, he scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't
that close.
The difference, right? You cannot compare the difference.
No, Brady became the GOAT for me when I saw him when they took on the Falcons and they had the champagne, they had the owner on the sideline. Atlanta was getting ready to celebrate. Bankhead was jumping off, and Brady just went off. And I was like, okay, this man is the GOAT. That's
where do we stand on the question of who meant more to the Patriots dynasty? Do we put it on Brady or does it still fall on Belichick?
That's like a Pippen and a Jordan, man.
I know.
Yeah, I agree.
That's kind of hard because if you go look at the statistics, the defense. No, but the defense. If you go back in those 20 years, it's almost like maybe a 60-40 where the defense was always above, 60% of the time was above the offense, and 40% the offense was above the defense, but both of them were high, right?
Yeah.
And then so that's that, right? So then you have the fact that Belichick was able to do a good job, like rejuvenating good pieces together, right? Being able to fit the Randy Moss into a system, into anyone who came from the Dolphins. He would do well, right? So if you think about it, right?
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
and then you need a quarterback. I mean, because Mac Jones, I called him, did well. He's a perfect fit for him,
Yeah, I agree.
in
I agree.
Patriots, because he's smart, controls the ball. Brady's was just quick. Nothing crazy until he had Moss, but it's not like he had tons of offensive weapon talent all the time.
Yep.
So I think it's both, but Brady proved, though, how important a good quarterback can be when you put talent around him, regardless of his age, and he's smart, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
there's only so much the coach can do. He doesn't play the game; the player plays the game.
Yeah.
Brady's the player. So if you had to rank him, Brady's first, Belichick second.
Yeah. Do you think there's going to be another quarterback that'll threaten Brady's legacy with stat wise? If we look at his stats,
yeah. I mean, Ray. I'm talking too much.
It's gonna be a while, man. Nobody's gonna 84,000 something pass.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a while till somebody touch that. But hey man, let me tell you, I like Josh Allen. I like Patrick Mahomes. Those guys are awesome. But Tom Brady's just on a whole nother level, man. He's like Jordan. He's like Michael Jordan, man.
Well, but look at the with him retiring. I mean, this impact.
7.
Yeah, but this is like a major impact. I mean, I know it's his age and everything, but if you taking Brady out of the equation, that shakes up the NFC. Not just that's a big impact, because how does it affect the NFC South? Go for it.
Question on Brady though, real quick.
Yep.
Okay, two things. I think that yes, someone will break Brady's records, right? Because records are made to be broken. Number one. Number two, the record that I don't think they're going to break is having 7 Super Bowls. I think that's going to be. That is hard, man. I don't know how to be in 10 Super Bowls and win 7. I mean, that I don't think. But when it comes to yards and all that, each season gets extended, right? As they start playing more games, and what happens is he broke the barrier of how old you could play, right? So now some of these guys are better shape. If they realize they can take better shape of themselves, they do the things that he needs to do. They're going to play longer. And if they play longer and they add 2 more games, you know what I mean? You think about it, right? It's like they were saying it on sports, the season used to be 12 games. So every time you break a record, it's got to be comparable to the amount of games you played, right?
Good point.
So yardage and all that has a possibility. I mean, he's got a lot of records, so he's not going to hold them all. But I don't to get 7 Super Bowls, man. Not in my lifetime.
Yeah, I agree 100% with everything you just said. I agree. Yeah, will it get broken? Yeah. Tom Brady lost to Eli Manning twice. How is he the GOAT? Championships.
Whoa! I'm a Giant fan. Don't go there, buddy.
Championship.
I know, but I wasn't knocking it. I was
clear. He lost to the NFC East 3 times. So the only division that beat the GOAT was our division.
And you know who beat him this current season, his retirement season, was Washington does have a win over him. Heineke can go down in the history books as one of the quarterbacks that beat him.
NFC East, he's got his number. I'm just saying to you. And you can say what you want to Eli, but he was the MVP for both of those Super Bowls, and the brother put up.
Weren't the Giants the underdogs for that as well?
He put up big numbers.
I'll give him. He threw a ball up against a guy's helmet, and that guy held on to that helmet.
Good teams
Right.
figure out a way to win, man.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
Nick
It
Foles
is
beat Tom
okay
Brady.
for that. Deion, who's Deion Branch? You remember him?
Of course, he was a hell of a receiver. I remember Deion Branch.
Yeah, he was for one season. He got an MVP for one season in the Super Bowl, and then he left Seattle. Nobody heard his name again.
But that was Belichick. Bill,
but that's my point. You know what I mean? It's like you got the MVP to be the quarterback twice to get it.
Yeah, Philly special.
Eli did his job. Eli's my boy, so I don't care what you guys say.
Hey, look! All Tom Brady does is hold up the rings. Just look at the accolades. Nobody can touch that right now. I'm sorry, not even Eli Manning can't touch.
No. I'm not saying Eli can touch it. Just when you're saying you lose to Eli, that's the beautiful. I mean, didn't Doug Williams get MVP?
Yeah, and then the year after he was, won the Super Bowl MVP, and then was a nobody again.
Well, wait, time out. He didn't do anything the entire season. Wasn't that the season you guys were doing dual quarterbacks?
Yeah, he came in out of nowhere.
But that's what makes football so great. It's one game that you got to play the best that you possibly can, and you cannot take away that Doug Williams lit it up.
Yeah, no.
For the Super Bowl. Yeah. And when he's the MVP, he's the MVP. I don't care what you can say after that. He still was the MVP on the one day that you're supposed to be the MVP.
He got us a title. I'm happy. He got us a title.
When you go into the stadium, or if you go in a basketball ring, it's about banners. It's about looking up and seeing the banners in which the championships. Turning small markets into something huge, I mean, hell, he even gave Tampa Bay a championship. He's the GOAT right
at home.
Yes,
which was another first.
Stephen A. Smith used to say Aaron Rodgers, he's a bad man. I'm like, what did he do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Don't even get me started on Roger. I can't stand him. He's pissed. He's still in Brett Favre's shadow. He will always, no matter what he does, until he gets a couple more championships, and that ain't going to happen because he's, he'll be on another team at the start of the season.
Aaron hates Aaron Rodgers. Because they got the same name. I don't know what it is.
Ron said real quick. If Joe Montana and Jerry Rice played in this era, they would dominate. Jerry Rice definitely would.
By the way, the reason why I see Jerry Rice and Cup a little different, Jerry Rice to me was the most gazelle beautiful receiver.
Yeah,
it's almost like I don't know but he seems to always have the ball in stride.
Yeah,
in other words, it was just as if he kept running, whether he had the ball, he didn't have the ball. It was no different.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? There was no catch. He's going down. He caught it. He's just goodbye. I mean, that guy was something else, man.
Yeah, he was. I feel like Dan Marino was a hell of a quarterback. He just never won any championships, but he was but Jim Kelly was a hell of a quarterback. He'd been to a lot of Super Bowls. He just didn't win them. 4. He
might have a record for that.
No, Minnesota has been there too. Fran Tarkenton 4 times in a row.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
You guys are young. You don't know that stuff.
Well, my father-in-law is a Vikings fan, so he was out in California for one of the Super Bowls.
I want to ask you guys a question. You know what? The one thing I love about, and it may be because I'm biased, one thing I love about Kendrick Perkins and Charles Barkley, and I love Charles Barkley, and I like Kendrick Perkins too. They're both professional basketball players, and basketball players are just superior athletes because you got to do everything, right? But when they're asked about Brady and compared them, and as Stephen A. Smith gets all pissed off about Bill Russell being and don't get me wrong, Bill Russell was phenomenal, but the way
nobody watched him.
It's not that, but he was also a big guy amongst not a lot of big guys, right?
That's
I mean,
true.
it's
Yeah.
like Will Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Right? These guys were
Yeah.
they were like
Yeah.
abnormally large people playing against very little people, right?
Right.
But they were still
Yeah.
great. Don't get me wrong, right?
Right.
But my point being is that Kendrick Perkins and Barkley in particular, say, see, the only difference is like with Jordan and everything. Don't get me wrong, I love him. You know, Jordan's my boy. He goes, but in football, you know, every game is game 7. You can't take a break. You can't load manage. You can't take a time off. You gotta win.
Yeah. Yep.
It's game 7.
Yeah.
That's it. So for you to do it 7 times and get there 10, I mean, he goes, you know, it's a totally different piece.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can have a bad game and then put up 90, but you know, you can't do that in football.
Yeah, even Joe Flacco got some championships, man. Dang, I forget. Ravens.
And so who was the Tampa Bay quarterback? What was his name?
Oh God!
I mentioned him the other day. I totally forgot about his name.
Brad Johnson.
Brad Johnson.
Hey, the best thing with him getting a Super Bowl for the Bucs was he was with Washington the year prior, and then they got rid of him. They said, you know what, you're not any good anymore. You washed up. Sent him to Tampa Bay, and then he took them to a Super Bowl. And I was like, when I watched, I was like, are you kidding me? I was so pissed.
Jacksonville did that with Fournette. They cut him. They didn't just wave him. They cut him. They cut him.
Yeah. And he got the last laugh.
He got a ring. And got paid. Got paid.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. God, who are we forgetting? Somebody? Why are we just?
What are you thinking of? Quarterbacks that we don't remember that one? What's your thought? He started it with Flacco.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There's somebody,
and he played one AA. He played for the University of Delaware.
Yeah.
He's also the first 6'7" quarterback.
I will charge it. Go get him.
Yeah.
Anyway,
let me ask, is the Cowboys when is the Cowboys gonna win a playoff game?
You know,
is it gonna take Jerry to step down?
It's gonna take Jerry to die.
Look. Washington has a better chance of winning a playoff game.
I don't wish any malintent to Jerry Jones. May he live to 150 years old. God bless him. You know what I'm saying? He's a smart businessman. He bought the team. The team's worth almost $6 billion. He's the greatest businessman there possibly is. But I'm not sure if the business. I don't know if he's a hidden want to win the Super Bowl or he's really a businessman, right? Because he's doing a great job on the business side of it. He's doing a terrible job, and they will not win.
Well, I did talk to Jeff Gignac, and he told me Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl next year.
He said that.
Look, I say that, you know what, Ray? I say that every year about Washington, too. I've been saying that every year since the last Super Bowl back in the 90s. Every year since then, since 92, I've been saying that we're going to the Super Bowl.
But why?
It's my team. I will always say that, knowing that they will never, that just at this point, I'm just like, look, we have a better shot of winning a playoff game.
The only thing I'm going to say is that the Giants will win the conference only because it's such a bad conference. You got a shot, right? That's the bottom line, right? But after that, you know, it's not easy. The only thing that goes good for the Giants or any NFC team except for the Dallas Cowboys is that once those NFC East teams get hot into the playoffs, they're tough to beat with lousy records. Go look at all the winnings.
No, you're right.
Go look at Washington, Philadelphia, and the Giants. Giants were 9-6 or 9. They're 9.
Philadelphia could have got in there. Man.
They went in the wild card. They went for the wild card. They went to Green Bay and won. You can talk all the smack about Eli, but he went through Green Bay. He went through this and that. And he won.
Both of those Super Bowls, didn't he do that? He on the road, and I think the first he was set. Yeah, they were 8-8 or something
at the beginning.
They just lucked into getting into the playoffs, into the wild card as the underdog, and they remained that way. The Super Bowl. That was it was fantastic.
They're tough. They beat up on each other. Dallas ain't gonna. He's not going to do it. And I'm sorry, we talked about this before, and I said it again. I want to look at when they won. They won when Jerry was a brand new owner.
True, and they had Jimmy Johnson.
But that's he was a brand new owner, and he
Yeah.
let Jimmy do what he had. Jimmy did right. Okay, and Jimmy made a lot of the picks when he made that Herschel Walker pay.
Right.
Right, and I'll go back again. Jerry Jones has done a great job as a GM for a guy that's whoever he is, but he's just terrible as an owner. He's better as a GM than he is as an owner, except for he's a great owner from a business perspective, right? Like, you know, when you buy a team for 200-300 million, whatever he bought it for, and now it's worth $6 billion. I mean, he's done pretty good.
Kudos. Yeah. He's overpaying the players though, man. I'm sorry. I'm just I mean, come on. Zeke overpaid, like overpaid.
Well, it looked like he did okay with Dak until the end.
Yeah. Well, we've reached the that time of the
we did,
show where we got to end it. We actually went over, but you know, I don't think
Santiago be happy.
Yes,
I let my shows go until I go, bro. I ain't worried about something. Look, you guys got me up late. I don't do shoot.
I know. Well, Ray's out in California, so he's the early bird.
Yeah, it's only 8:05 out here.
I'm still going. Look, I'm ride or die with the Bengals on this one. I've been going every game lately. I still say the Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl.
I'm going with the Bengals. I'm just scared to pick them because I'm scared I'm gonna lose if I pick them. Right? You know, I just shit.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, at this point, you know, I want the thing is I like Stafford because I like Stafford from Georgia. I always said he was good. Period. I really thought Detroit was going to do something when they had him, Megatron. I'm like, hey, finally, watch what's going to happen. But that was there. But you know what? I like Burrow's story. I like Jamar Chase. I just, I think Cincinnati, there's a good football town. And, the Rams already got a Super Bowl, and they keep moving cities so many times. I mean, I don't know I don't know who their fans are, to be honest with you.
Well, it was the Niners because we definitely took over that stadium when we were there. It was red.
65% of that stadium was of the fans were 49ers fans.
We got one of the largest 49er clubs out there in LA. But oh my God, my heart is with the Bengals because they haven't won a championship, and but it's in Southern California. And I'm going with the Rams to win the Super Bowl. And Stafford's going to be crying like a baby. He finally did it. You got players. Come on, dude. Cup and Beckham. Come on now.
I'm sorry. Who was the second name? What was the second name you said?
Cup and ODB.
Who was the second name? Who's the second player?
Odell Beckham.
Exactly. Because me and my co-host fight about that all the time.
But you said the same thing about the Chiefs beating the Bengals because they got Patrick Mahomes and they've got Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill and all of these players.
Excuse me, but did you see that offensive line? Burrow's ass is going to be pounded into the ground.
You better hope Aaron Donald shows up.
Okay, this poor kid is gonna get pounded on.
Yeah, well, that should have happened. That should have happened Sunday. You never know. Number one, number two, Aaron. Your comment about Stafford, I didn't think remember. In my opinion, he didn't do crap in the beginning. No matter what, it was 7-7, and he had 3 times the amount of passes. His passer rating was worse than Garoppolo's. He didn't really do anything until later on, and that was just because I don't know what the heck these guys at San Francisco was doing. The bottom line is he was throwing that ball. I don't understand why they weren't giving the ball to Akers more. Akers was averaging 4 or 5 yards a carry. He had 10 carries for 50 yards or 45 yards in the first half. I think he had see how many carries he had in the whole game. Maybe 13, 15.
When you saw Cup in the slot, when he played in the slot, they couldn't stop him. Boom, get it.
Yeah,
boom.
You got to give He should have gave Akers the ball. I'm just telling you. He gave Akers the ball. They were forcing themselves to constantly be in the 3rd and long, which is stupid.
I agree.
Akers was averaging 4 yards a carry.
He's also got the backup guy. He's good too.
That's my
Sony.
point.
Uh,
Well,
Yeah.
Sony Michelle didn't really do well, but
Oh, you didn't give
Yeah,
him
Michelle.
the ball. You didn't give him the ball.
Sony had 10 carries, 16 yards, average 1.6. Akers 13 carries, 48 yards, averaging 3.7 yards.
okay. So check this out. They gave him the ball in the entire second half 3 times.
Yeah. Stafford had it 5 times, carried 5 times for 8 yards, and Cup 1 for a loss of 2. But still, I mean, yeah, they I don't know why they weren't giving the ball to Akers more.
I don't know how you go 10 times and then averaging 4 and then just give it to him 3, 4 more times after that. That was just
It's not like the Niners were, on fire either, though. So they very easily should have kept running it. They also said it was going to come down to a field goal.
yeah, it was going to come down to a dropped interception.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to something Jimmy G was going to do.
Think about it. Stafford was Stafford when he threw that ball. That was a terrible ball.
Yeah.
But Jimmy
I
throws,
like-
I think, worse.
The only thing that
what was Jimmy's passer rating?
let me go back and see. Jimmy. Oh, it's not showing me on this.
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
87.1.
What
And
was
his
Stafford?
QBR was 7.0. Stafford's rating was 96.3. His QBR was 61.9.
Okay. Halftime wasn't that. And they still only won by a field goal, which is crazy. Well, we'll see. I'm happy to see who the games are in. I can't say I'm excited either case, but the story is good on both sides.
I agree.
But I think the pressure is greater on the Rams because they don't have a pick until 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They got a problem. So if they don't win it at home, okay.
Yeah.
And this is something about this kid, man. I mean, you got to bless the transfer portal because you wouldn't have known him without the transfer portal. You wouldn't know who Burrow was.
Yeah. Well, and the Bengals are actually. I was reading something else. The NFL posted the Bengals are the home team in the Super Bowl. They get to be the home team, which I was just like, all right. I don't know. I didn't read.
The record's better.
Yeah, I didn't read all of the article. I just happened to see.
It's got to be the record there.
Let's see if I can pull it up real quick.
Should be the record.
It says the 8. Well, this is CBS Sports. Here's what. AFC's home team for even Super Bowls. The NFC is the home team for odd ones.
Oh, God,
so that's why Bengals, despite being nearly 2,200 miles from Cincinnati, are designated the home team for the Super Bowl.
But it's kind of stupid. There's really no home team normally in a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's like in baseball, home team, at least you bat last. Like, what's the point of being the home team on a neutral field? Like, what is it? Other than the colors of your uniform?
Yeah, I don't.
There's no significance to being home or away.
Ron is not sold on Stafford.
Like I said, bro. I mean, it was 7-7, and he threw like 30 passes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's got a point, and then that interception he threw that would have ended the game. So you got, the kid dropped it. He got lucky, but it's not like no one was not expecting Stafford to do something like that. Even though everyone was expecting Jimmy G to do something, but everybody still expected Stafford to do something stupid.
That's the sad part is because both of them could do bonehead things. Jimmy just makes stupid plays, but I've also said the thing about Stafford was he's a gunslinger. He'll just throw it, and for the best.
He's got a better arm than Jimmy. I'm sorry, Stafford's got.
There's no confusion.
Got a better arm.
Let me tell you something. The guy who's got the arm. First of all, I'm gonna end it. At least last piece is. I stick to my guns. That Chargers coach should be fired. Fired. That's right. That's an LA team too, ain't it? Okay. Fired. Number one. Number two, I've never seen a ball thrown that far on a rope that fast in my life. Not even but Josh Allen, none of those guys that were thrown in that awesome game, they were throwing what Herbert was throwing rockets.
Yeah.
Rockets.
Yeah.
Rockets. I mean, that coach should be fired. Fired. You know what it is when the other team goes, I can't believe it. The other team says, I can't believe they called timeout. The other team is willing to take a time.
Yeah. Good point.
He should be fired. Oh, wait a second. What kind of jersey you got on?
Oh, I love Ladimian Thomas.
Oh, so it's funny now talking about the Chargers and you got a Chargers shirt on. I was going to say, but I don't know. Have you guys seen a ball thrown like that from that kid? From anybody?
Yeah.
No.
I haven't seen that a lot, maybe other than Elway or Marino. And even then, he didn't throw it that far. I was like, God.
Do y'all think they'll have a better job of the officiating since it's the Super Bowl?
No.
Or we're still going to see some missed calls? Because I know I commented in the chat when you were live streaming the Niners game about several missed calls. Face mask. I mean, there was a bunch of them. The helmet-to-helmet hit that they didn't call. So
That wasn't a helmet.
There sure as heck was.
There was one he did. It looked like he did a helmet, but it wasn't a helmet.
You mean when he blindsided when the guy was already down and he came flying in?
Are you talking about when Debo got knocked out?
I'm just saying the officiating in both of not just the Niners game, both. It was both. The Chiefs game had just as bad, I think. So I'm leery that a bad call or a missed call could alter what could be a great game, because we've seen that before as well.
Yeah.
McCarthy claimed he's seen that before. That may not have happened to the Packers.
Every game has been good, right? Meaning that it was low scoring, it was a field goal. But from my experience, that what wasn't good was, and I'm gonna just cap this off for the season, right? Was the coaching. The coaching, the play calling, the missed drop passes. Think about this year, the year in review. How many drop interceptions were done this year? The Giants alone had a ton. There were dropped interceptions in the playoffs. Coaching calls from Andy Reid to McCarthy had a ton of them. To the Steelers to the Chargers coaches, I'm telling you, and the officiating. So there were so many things. It was just a crazy. So many things that were not expected. I'd never seen that many drop balls. Everything. It was just, I don't know what to pick anymore.
Yeah, this was another wild year. I thought last year was bad, but good Lord, this one was just as crazy.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, that is. Do you want to give a shout out for your show, for your Thursday show?
Thursday, Jersey Boys Sports Talk, Thursday at 8 p.m., nice in the normal time. Please join us. We always have good guest hosts. We'll be talking about a few things coming up. I'm sure I'm going to be talking about the Giants and their pick, because everybody knows I didn't want that guy, but I have no choice, so I might as well run with the flow. Daniel Jones, I think he's going to be out. I'm still not a believer in him, and
I like him.
And that's it. Jersey Boys Thursdays at 8 p.m. You can reach out to me on Twitter at VARocho, VAROCHO, arocho.com. Or that's it. Thanks for having me, guys. This was fun.
Oh yeah, thanks for hopping on.
Thank you,
guys. You can find us. We'll be back next week after the Pro Bowl. I'm sure there's going to be more NFL news we'll talk about, because we're running low on games. We got the Pro Bowl, which I won't watch, but I'm sure there's going to be some more fun NFL news that'll be popping up with regards to the Giants-Dolphins situation, and who knows what else. Maybe another quarterback will retire or something, or Rodgers will get traded.
And let's go Commandos. Hey,
Commanders. The Commanders. Commandos. All right, let me